In a 1967 speech at Stanford University, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Certain conditions continue to exist in our society which must be condemned as vigorously as we condemn riots. But in the final analysis, a riot is the language of the unheard. And what is it that America has failed to hear? The events of recent weeks have shown that more than 50 years later, far too many people still feel their messages, their needs, their feelings are being ignored. So we asked members of our RIT community to tell us, what must our community begin to do or continue to do to ensure that our Black and Brown members in particular feel understood, accepted, and appreciated?"
RIT needs to not only say that Black Lives Matter, RIT needs to mean it, to believe it, to show evidence of it, and to commit to it in all facets of our organization. We have to move past the uneasiness of the cries for help, the cries for acknowledgement, and the cries for understanding. Because that unease that you feel is the disease that is destroying the fabric of our university. We can correct it by individually doing the work personally, but then also on all levels of our organization. That's when we can say Black Lives Matter, and that's when our students, our alumni, our faculty, and our staff will believe it and feel it and stand behind it.
RIT must take this time to invoke change from within. In solidarity with Black students, alumni, faculty, and staff, the university must publicly denounce racism, support the Black Lives Matter movement, and engage in anti-racist policy reformation at the institutional level. Any demand for nationwide change is empty if it is not accompanied by action at home.
I think first and foremost, we really need to listen when our Black and Brown brothers and sisters are sharing their experiences, because there's nothing more powerful than presence and holding space for somebody to really show them that we care and that we have their back. Secondly, as white people, I think we really need to educate ourselves. If we don't own our past will own us. You can count on me to be a vocal ally. I will not be silent. I will continue to educate myself and to take action.
Something that's helped me transition to the RIT community much easier was having the spaces to kind of share my culture, learn from others, and just be listened to. I think it takes just a very small step to allow ourselves to kind of hear from each other and understand where we come from.
Our university needs to view student failure as a problem with the institution, not the student. STEM professors oftentimes view themselves as gatekeepers, picking the elite students who deserve to be scientists and engineers while discarding everyone else. Along with this, RIT needs to make the success of Black students a campus-wide priority, instead of relegating the issue to one office.
We cannot let our words and posts and tweets be our only form of activism, and we cannot rely on others to do the hard work ahead. Instead, we must ensure that there's equitable representation on important committees and in leadership positions at every level of our university. In meetings and in classrooms, we must amplify the voices of those who have been silenced or ignored because of the color of their skin, and we must reevaluate and rewrite policies and practices to ensure full inclusion of our peers and colleagues of color.
We notice, hear, and see Black and Brown people's voices. We fully support their voices.
As a Puerto Rican female officer and a member of the LGBTQ community, it has always been my dream to serve in a position where I can effectuate change in my community. My goal has been and always will be to bridge the cultural gap between the minority groups of our community and those charged with leadership roles assigned to protect them. Public safety will continue using our role to ensure that we are having transparent and honest conversations which result in action items that the community is accountable to.
As the community of RIT, it is very important to acknowledge what is going on around us and also educate ourselves about these matters. One way to do so is to encourage our staff and students who are not minorities to be more engaging in these clubs and meetings that are taking place on campus. Second tip is to do more research and figure out how you can help the minorities on campus and how you can make a change for us.
I think we need to bring in, respect, and act on the perspectives of our minoritized community members. When we open ourselves up to the critique from and needs of these diverse groups, we can take the first steps towards being a racially just community. That said, we can't rely on the emotional and educational labor of our Black and Brown friends and colleagues. Self-work and growing our own understanding of whiteness, not as the default experience, but as a racial identity whose liberation is linked to oppressed groups, can help lead to a just society.
Take the next step. Act as an accomplice. This entails dismantling the structures that oppress an individual or group. As a non-Black person in society and in the RIT community, we must educate ourselves and use our privilege to speak up and rally with them. This is not about us. This is about our Black brothers and sisters. Don't just ask your Black students to speak up and educate us on why their lives matter. Use your privilege and take action to show and support that you believe that Black lives matter.
I don't know if America has failed to hear, but it certainly failed to listen and acknowledge the fact that racism extends far beyond the hateful acts that many of us are able to easily see and call out. Racism is embedded in our systems, our social, political, economic, and yes, educational systems. It manifests itself through access, privilege, deliberate acts of omission and commission. It rears its head in our networks and our biases, hiring, and many everyday decisions. Until America is ready to do the right thing and tear down the systemic racism that runs rampant in our communities, we will continuously be on the wrong side of history.
Thank you to those who stepped forward to offer these perspectives on the impact of racism in the RIT community. Your words are deeply moving and represent a call to action for us all. This conversation will continue. RIT's leadership is committed to supporting this essential discussion and to creating and sustaining a welcoming and inclusive environment for all. And we will soon be communicating future opportunities for all of us to engage. Right now we are apart, but we can still be united in our common determination to make RIT and the world a better place.